Come with me and you'll be in a world of Chris Collins fragrances. That's right, today we have 3 fragrances from the world of Chris Collins fragrances. Let's talk about them. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Jredlamar, and today we are gathered here to talk about some fragrances, more specifically some fragrances from the house of Chris Collins. But before we start, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell down below so you can be notified of all of my upcoming videos. In addition to YouTube, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Jredlamar. Now, for those of you who do not know, Chris Collins is a Black-owned niche fragrance company based here in the US. And today we have 3 fragrances: Tokyo Blue, African Rooibos, and Oud Galore. Let's get to it. So first we're going to start off with Tokyo Blue. This is a floral, clean, soapy fragrance, but it's a strong soapy fragrance. I want you to think of your favorite clean, soapy fragrance and multiply that smell by 10. This stuff is strong. It's one of those fragrances that kind of overwhelm you at first, but you come back to it to get another sniff of it every few minutes or so. It's very addicting. Now, the opening of this fragrance is very sharp and powerful, and that's mostly because of the galbanum note in the top. That galbanum is vicious. And for those of you who do not know, galbanum gives off a loud, intense, bitter green herbal scent. There's also some bergamot and ylang ylang in the top that adds to this. Now, the mids is where the magic happens. You get this strong ozonic green herbalness from a strong violet leaf note, a powderiness from the orris root combined with a host of florals that gives it a certain softness. And those florals are made up of mimosa, rose, and orange blossom. In the base you get some cedar and musk that blends pretty well with those notes in the mids. Now, when I heard the name Tokyo Blue, I thought this was your average citrus blue fragrance with some wood citrus notes, some ginger thrown in there, kind of what we're used to. But this was not that. This is super strong, clean, soapy, opens up very strong, but you end with a soft, floral, woody, powdery scent. It's straight concentration, and it's going to last on you. 7-8 hours, you get good projection the first couple of hours, very pleasant. This one's going to perform best in the springtime, but I say you can wear this one year round. For those of you who love a clean, soapy fragrance, this is the most clean soapiness that you can get. Anything stronger than this, you might as well go and sniff some Comet or Ajax. It's that strong. Next we have African Rooibos. Now, this fragrance is different. This is a warm, spicy herbal fragrance. That warm spiciness that you get is from the pepper and cardamom in the top. There's also bergamot in the top that gives it a certain freshness. Usually with fragrances, you get warm spiciness or you get the light citrus fresh scents. With this fragrance, they've taken the two and combined them to have a very different, unique kind of opening, but it works. It's kind of confusing. It's kind of confusing at first because, like I said, this isn't normal. You have this slightly citric, refreshing edge to the fragrance. It's very unique. It's very interesting. In the mids, you're going to get your Rooibos tea note, which is the star of the fragrance. And this is a new one for me. Rooibos tea is a sweet, herbal, spicy, red-looking tea that's native to South Africa. And the smell kind of reminds me of Red Hots or Big Red Gum. It's this spicy, sweet, herbal tea note. And as you would think, with the fragrance being named African Rooibos, this note right here is going to stand out amongst everything else. And in addition to that tea note, you also get some orris butter, which gives it a slight powderiness. In the base, you're going to get some woodiness from the cedar, but also some sweet spiciness from the tonka bean. There's also an immortelle note thrown in there, which is basically a plant that gives off a tobacco smell. This is a fragrance that works best in the fall and winter, but I say you can also get away with it in the evening during the springtime. And this fragrance is strong. I'm saying 10 plus hours. It may even take you into the next day. Now, even though this is an eaudeparfum concentration, it still lasts longer than the 2 straight fragrances. It is a strong, unique fragrance that will get you noticed. Never really smelled anything like this before. Our last fragrance is Oud Galore. Now, with this being an straight concentration oud fragrance, I thought it was going to be a stinky one. Not the case here. This is a spicy ouze rose fragrance, and it's the spices in this fragrance that separates it from most rose oud fragrances. And the spices lead the way in the top with cinnamon and Madagascar cloves. The mids are going to soften things up with some rose, Egyptian geranium, and orris. The rose and the geranium are going to give you your soft herbalness, and your orris is going to add a powderiness to the fragrance. Now in the base we have some heavy hitters. In the base you get your agar wood, which is a pleasant oud, some cypriol oil, and sandalwood, which comes together to give you a nice woody earthiness. You get some incense, which gives you a slight smokiness, and you also get some copahu balm, which adds to the woodiness and also brings out that spiciness that you got in the opening. This is another strong fragrance that's going to give you about 7-8 hours straight concentration. Again, not as strong as African Rooibos, but still pretty strong in the performance department. This is a fragrance that I say will work best in the fall and the winter. So those are going to be our 3 fragrances from the house of Chris Collins. All 3 of these are unique, niche quality fragrances that are worth checking out. And that's going to do it for today. So tell me, which one of these do you like the most? Personally, Tokyo Blue and African Rooibos are my favorite. Also, let me know if you have any fragrances from the house of Chris Collins. Remember to comment, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell down below so you can be notified of all of my upcoming videos. In addition to YouTube, you can find me at Jredlamar on TikTok and Instagram. Once again, my name is Jredlamar, and until next time, spray something.